Hey everyone! If you've been around my channel or you've seen my other Stoneshard videos, you know this isn't my favorite game. I took an early look at this, and I really wasn't impressed with the way the progression happens. I've made different comparisons already, so I'm not going to waste your time by going into that. You can definitely check out my other videos if you want. I'll go ahead and link them up here. It looks like this version is marked 0.8, so as you can imagine, they're getting closer to release. As I looked through the notes, I really wanted to focus mainly on balance changes, the things that were problematic in the past. This was a very random roguelike that would eat up a ton of time when you died, so I was really happy to see a lot of the save point location issues looked to be addressed. Or at least they're trying. Seeing that they decreased some of the spawn rates for some of the random things that would kill you even outside of the dungeons was great. A bedroll looks to have been added, so you can kind of save on the go. Looks like they wanted travel to be a little bit easier. So right off the bat, I was a little impressed. Now, I'm not going to go as far as saying the game is easy. I don't think this game is ever designed to be easy, nor should they have to make it that way. That's fine. The biggest gripe I have in this game is the loss of time for things that aren't really even in the realm of fair, which is just kind of unfortunate with roguelikes. This game has a huge learning curve as well. It has a massive array of flora and fauna, all of which have different effects, and you kind of have to know what things do to know what is valuable as you search through the forest or the dungeons or wherever you're at. I immediately noticed that there were sticks all over the ground, and I was able to actually create fire now, which allowed me to easily cook food, and that just really helps with the survival aspect and the exploration part of this game. I've gone through this game a few times now, or at least the starting portion of it, and this was by far my favorite run in that regard. That learning curve is real, and there's probably a lot I don't know about this game that might make it a little bit easier to play. But still, I will say I had a lot more fun surviving in this go-round. That said, it's not all sunshine and lollipops. A lot of those new skills and quality life improvements are locked behind skill trees, and you have to earn them. You could grab them at level 1, but you'd sacrifice getting an attack or something very useful. So, there's a balance there as well. Though I was able to potentially purchase a bedroll in town, it was far too expensive to afford at the time, and I had to get to a dungeon. So even though I didn't get a chance to personally use the bedroll, I do appreciate the fact that it was there. Like in my previous saves, the only save point I had managed to find and use was at the inn. Also, just like before, every enemy encounter was a group of 3, and I would have to kite the enemies away from each other and move them off the map to fight them one at a time. And it seems like some of the effects with maybe the food ingredients got a little bit of a buff as well, because that seemed a little bit more manageable this time around. It may have also just been attributed to the fact that the overworld is just a little bit safer than it was before. So things were running pretty smooth until I hit my first dungeon. Having done a lot since the last time I'd saved, coming to the dungeon's already a risky move. So I made it about halfway through and returned to town and saved. I'd like to say I'm glad I did because it kind of saved my progress, but at the same time I encountered this other issue where the game crashed completely. And unfortunately I was really unable to get any further. Coming back from my save and going back through that same door would trigger the same crash every time. But, like I was saying earlier, a lot of positive changes have been made, and that is extremely promising. This is probably never going to be my favorite game, but there's a lot of steps in the right direction, and it's awesome to see. Had I been able to get some experience levels and some coin in my pocket, I definitely could have made use out of the bedrolls and the save system and all those things, and that's an obvious improvement on what they had before. The crashing issue was unfortunate, but it's early access, and I totally understand, and I'm never going to be too judgmental about that. We're still working bugs out, that's the whole point. So, in conclusion, I guess you might say I've upgraded my opinion a little bit. Not a lot, I haven't been able to get much further. But, as promised, I will continue to check back and watch the progress as this game continues to grow. Thanks for watching.